Hi ladies, welcome to today's topic, giving up on love at 30. I hope you don't. You can if you want to, of course. I can't stop you, I can't pull you out of your hole, but maybe today is an attempt to do that. Maybe I'm trying to get you to remember that there is a whole world out there. You could be really happy, you could be laughing, you could be feeling a kind of purpose again. Thinking that there is love for you out there, and to remember, at least from today's video, that there are 7 reasons why you can't give up on love at 30 or in your 30s. So the first reason is you're in the prime of your life. Like, I really want to shake some women sometimes, some clients who come to see me and they've gone, they're all crying and they're really upset, and don't get me wrong, I really feel for them, but it's like, look at yourself in the mirror. Look how young you are. Like, you're the youngest you'll ever be today. So sort of think of it like that. Not, I'm so old. I feel so old. And yeah, sure, you're older than 15. You're older than 22. You're not old. Okay, you might be 35, whatever. Like, you're still in the prime of your life. Like, there's so much more of life to live. Like, there's so much more, and kind of feel like there's a point. There's a point to living. There's a point to get out there again. It's really important to believe that life is still there for you. It's still there for you. You're in the prime of your life, because a 70-year-old, like I remember when I was in my 30s and a neighbour in her 70s said, but you're still a young woman. And I thought, okay, because here I was thinking, well, compared to me at 22 or me at 15, because when you're around 30, you've just come from that. You've just come from 20 or from 15. You're looking back. So instead of putting your kind of standard or your perspective on the past, comparing how much younger you were to now, think of the 50 and 70-year-olds who are thinking of you, you're just in your 30s. I wish I was in my 30s. And okay, they wish they were in their 30s. Well, maybe I can think of myself like that, rather than, well, the guy I used to date was 22, or yes, when I was 18, I thought that 32 was really old. Shift your perspective on your age and think 50 and 70-year-olds would love to be in their 30s, and think like them rather than thinking back. So that's really important. You're in the prime of your life. You're the youngest you'll ever be now, and shift your perspective on where your gauges are at with your age. It's very important, very important. You can't give up on yourself. You can't give up on love at 30 or in your 30s, because you're all these important things. You are important. You are beautiful. You are intelligent. You are talented. You are caring. You are kind. You're maybe much more fun than you think you are. You are creative. And even if you think, well, maybe I'm not that creative, or maybe I'm not that beautiful, or maybe I'm not that intelligent, whatever you're not quite convinced about yet, you're definitely necessary and important to the world. We need you. The man or woman who's looking for you needs you. We need you. You count. And you're probably, and definitely, depending on your own gauge, but I'm trying to tell you, trying to convince you, you are caring and fun and kind. So those things are still there, even if you think that the beauty and the intelligence thing is somewhere else on your spectrum. So you are important, and you're all these great things. So you really need to remember who you are. Write this list down. When you wake up in the morning, you can look at it, or put it in your phone, or put a little post-it note in the bathroom or something when you're doing your makeup, and you can remind yourself, yeah, I am these things, and that's why I can't give up on myself. It's so necessary to rescue yourself out of that kind of pit of despair that you find yourself in sometimes, or maybe just feeling a bit flat, or life's all just crap, and Yeah, sure. It is for sure. Like with everyone sometimes, but to not let yourself stay there. That's the important thing. You can't hide yourself away. You can't hide yourself away. What a waste. It's such a shame. There's a man or a woman looking for you right now. How are they going to find you if you're in your mind with your energy? How are they going to find you if you're hiding away in your house, or if you never go anywhere, or you're thinking to yourself? You've kind of built up this kind of energy around you with the thoughts, and the feeling that's oozing from you is, oh, there's no love for me out there. The man or the woman who's looking for you is going to like, well, where is she? Can't find her. Imagine that you're looking at this man or woman trying to find you. Oh, well, they're a bit of an idiot trying to find me. I'm not even in the picture. I've just taken myself off the radar. I'm over here somewhere. But that poor person who wants to make you happy, like they're for you. So you have to pull yourself out of this hiding mentality and feel like you can open yourself up and realize that just as you were thinking that there isn't anyone out there for me and there's no one there for me in the future, or however you're thinking, that there is just as much of a chance that the man or woman is looking for you right now, and that you're giving up on them finding you if you give up on yourself. Think of it that way. It's a perspective change. So instead of thinking that you're giving up on relationships, you're 30, you're in your mid-30s, you're at the end of your 30s. Oh, I've given up on relationships. Instead of thinking giving up, think I'm not feeling ready. Because maybe you could be not feeling ready in many different ways, for many different reasons, but maybe one of them that stands out is because you're feeling hurt or damaged from maybe a man or woman who hurt you in the past, in the last year or two, or maybe it happened 5 or 10 years ago. Part of you might still be back there feeling quite sad and almost believing whatever they told you. Maybe they were putting you down. Maybe they said some horrible things about your lifestyle or what you believed in. So instead of thinking I'm giving up, shift your perspective and think maybe I'm just not ready. Not giving up, I'm just not ready because I'm hurt. So the other thing to shift your perspective on, instead of thinking I'm giving up, think I'm not feeling confident. So that giving up, those words, that way of that whole, all the thoughts that are in that world of giving up can really just suck and just drain everything out of you. So you don't want to let yourself go there. Bring yourself back and get back into this possible option. Yes, maybe I'm just not feeling confident at the moment, rather than giving up. So what could you not be feeling confident about? Is it something that you can do something about? Do you want to fix your skin or your weight or your job or your house situation or where you live? Or do you want to fix that? Is it fixable? If it's none of those things, then you can think to yourself, well, maybe if I'm not feeling confident, maybe he's not feeling confident either. So it's not just you alone in this little world of, oh, maybe relationships are for me. I can go out there again. Maybe I shouldn't give up because I'm not feeling confident and he's not either. Think of it that way, because men's social communication skills are generally lower than women, so you're already ahead. So that's a good point to keep in mind. You might be thinking that you're giving up on relationships because other people are putting pressure on you. So my last point is it's important to kind of block people who are kind of putting this, projecting their issues onto you. You should be married by now, you're 27, or why haven't you settled down, you're 29, or oh, I can't believe you're 34 and you still haven't done this. this whole married already, it hasn't happened for you, so it won't. All these older people in your family who might be women, they tend to be women, they tend to be older. Instead of being on your side, which they really should, they are putting all their issues on you because, oh, maybe they were married with a baby at 18. Well, it's not the 1950s or 60s anymore. And whatever their life was, it's not yours. So their issues and them projecting their issues onto you has got nothing to do with how you are, what you like, the kind of man that you might prefer to be with, your standards. You're allowed to have your own little world of standards and preferences, not whatever your family might think you should have done by now. So this pressure, because it hasn't happened, because they tell you all the time, oh, where's the guy that you were dating, or oh, but it's you know, clock's ticking, and all this pressure constantly is making you feel like, oh, it's not done yet, or maybe it won't be done. So kind of cut them out. Don't listen to them, walk away. It's not relevant to you. Coming back to a summary of why you can't give up on love at 30. Well, you can if you want, and I can't pull you out of there, and no one can if you really want to believe that that's the case, and that's fine. But there's always a perspective shift, and you've always got a choice. So you are in the prime of your life. You really are. Everyone who's in their 50s and 70s want to be 30. Think of it like that, rather than, oh, I used to be 18, or the guy I dated or the woman I dated was 22. You're not 22 anymore. You're in your 30s. That's fine. It's all fine. And this perspective on age, it really needs to change as you, well, with every year, really, not to keep holding on to this idea in your head of what old is. When you're 15, 30 years old, you might still be thinking about that like that accidentally. Rather than thinking giving up on relationships, think change of perspective. So it's not that you're giving up. It's maybe that you're not feeling ready because you were hurt from what happened to you in the past. And I'm really sorry those awful things happened to you. It might be one of the reasons why you're not feeling ready, and you might not be feeling confident. So it's not about giving up. It's about needing to build your confidence again. What are you not feeling confident with? What could you work towards? Is it fixable? And or if none of those things are relevant, get your list of affirmations to start believing some positive things about yourself, such as these. You can't give up on yourself because you are important, you are necessary in the world, we need you. You are creative, beautiful and intelligent, even if you don't think you are. You are talented and caring and kind and fun. All of these things are real and they are in you, and you just need to remember them. That's all it is. You just need to remember. Kind of convince yourself the way you did when you were convincing yourself that relationships aren't for you. You can't hide yourself away because the man or woman who's looking for you can't find you if you've hidden yourself away with your thoughts and with your feelings. It's such a shame that you would hide yourself away. This man or woman really wants to be with you. Help yourself feel that that possibility is still there. And again, the pressure that comes when you're thinking about giving up on relationships might not have originated in your own head. It could have come from the family around you who are always saying, why aren't you married by now? Why haven't you got a boyfriend by now? Oh, but it's been this amount of years. When I was this age, I was already living this other kind of life. And that's fine for them because that was their life. This is your life. Whatever they project onto you is none of your business in a way. It's none of their business to pour out all their negative issues on you. and you can have your life the way you want it. Don't listen to them. You can still do things in your own time. So it's so important to be on your side. I'm on your side. If any of this has resonated with you, please make a phone booking. I'd love to hear what you've gone through. I'm sure you've got lots of stories. I'd love to keep talking about this for a lot longer, but we haven't got time. But I still want to hear your stories, and there's so many different ways that I might be able to shift the way you think. So do make a time, and please subscribe to me. If you've enjoyed this show, there's lots of other shows that I've done. All this help to help you feel supported in relationships. I'm here for you, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye.